The conversation around Afro hair has really gained momentum. We're having quite open public conversations about things that were taboo, but there have been huge changes in terms of the representation of Afro hair. I just published a book called Don't Touch My Hair. I guess the name is pretty self-explanatory. While the book is ostensibly about hair, it really covers a great deal more. It was a really fantastic opportunity for me to introduce concepts to a kind of wider audience that might not necessarily pick up a book about African history or about African philosophy, but would read a book about hair. The idea of having a big resplendent afro is kind of a diasporic act of defiance. We're told our hair is so ugly, it's so inferior and worthless, we're gonna showcase it in all its glory. These paintings represent a moment where the newly independent nation is trying to find its own artistic voice and creating a new national Nigerian aesthetic. During colonialism, we do see the introduction of wigs that kind of mimic European hair, and you do see the introduction of this idea that our hair is inadequate or inferior. After the Second World War, there started to be an increased anti-colonial movement throughout all of the European colonies. Nigeria gets its independence the 1st of October 1960. There's a reawakening of a sense of pride because of that independence moment. And this is something I would see very much in my own family, what I can remember from my father and his friends and siblings, all having big afros. The sitter in the painting, Christine, she has a very traditional Yoruba type of head wrap. We can tell from the way the wrap is worn that she is a married woman. This is the type of information that is encoded into head wraps and hairstyles. This is a characteristic often of Enwonwu's work. He was really concerned with creating a more cohesive and inclusive Nigeria and using his art to go about doing that work. Coral beads traditionally could only be worn by royal women. They can now be worn by anyone, but that idea of it still being something that kind of confers status is still very potent. It's quite interesting how there can be all these gains, but this texture hair is still stigmatized. I think there's a lot that can be done to create a more positive hair heritage. I think it's important that we keep kind of pushing forward with it, because there's examples from the past where there's been comparable moments, but it hasn't been enduring or it hasn't been sustainable.